And welcome to the first Beltline Blxck episode number 1. I had a crazy week this week. I came back from Sea Island.
Okay.
Beautiful hotel.
I've heard good things.
Behind 2 gates. Okay, I was like, this is no joke.
Hotel energy?
Get in there. They said, hey, if you want to get a chance to play golf at this resort, just feel free to come on down, sign some stuff, and you can run on down to the plantation.
Okay.
And I said,
this is the first one of us here. I heard you correctly.
Yeah.
You were golfing where?
The plantation.
Okay.
Is what they said. They said, come on down to the plantation and get a couple swings in. I said, I don't think I'm going to be making a play on the plantation in 2025.
It would be hard for me to enjoy myself freely on the plantation.
Sun's out.
Sun's out. Sweat beating down my back. I'm like, yo.
What's your week? What's your
goodness. Yeah, man. I was, just getting myself really settled. After being back, I've been back a little bit, but I went out to Boulder for a couple of years.
Yeah, man, that was crazy.
Lived the life out there. It was cool. Met some wonderful people. Had a chance to do some meaningful work.
Listen, I still remember people calling my phone saying, "Can you believe that Quincy is going to Boulder, Colorado?" And I was like, Atlanta loses a good one. We all felt some type of way. I said, he's on a journey. He's trying to find himself.
Wow, that's a lot of layers right there. You're doing a lot. You're doing a lot. I'll say thank you.
Yeah.
Wow. What I love about being back here in Atlanta and living on the Beltline is when you walk, you have this unique experience of engaging just with so many different people.
Oh, yeah.
On a daily walk.
Yeah.
Not even like we're going hiking together. It's just like I walk and I'm just taking in energy from so many different people. And that I absolutely love.
Are the people different out there than you said? I mean, obviously the South can be, Southern hospitality and also fake. Right. It all depends on how you view it.
For sure. I love, we've been here.
Yeah.
We understand the concept of Southern hospitality. It's great. I like when people are polite. There's something good about being polite.
Nice.
Also, you can be polite and not actually be kind.
Fake. AKA fake.
There's a lot of those humans walking around.
It's not everyone in the South, but everyone in the South knows we got to navigate this. Everyone knows it. It's silently. If you're new to the South, just know, it's going to be, everyone's going to be smiling in your face, but you got to make sure you get some right people around you so that they can let you know what's being said about you.
Are they really hospitable? Some people are really hospitable.
How would you rank yourself if you were to say on a scale from 1 to 10 and hospitable for you?
How hospitable am I?
How hospitable are you?
How hospitable toward me were they?
No. How hospitable are you on a scale from 1 to 10?
Don't rush my deflection. Can I deflect, please?
Nah, I want to know, how hospitable are you?
Goodness.
I'm going to give you a situation.
Yeah, give me something real.
You in the drive-thru. You're in the drive-thru.
Okay.
They mess up your order. Your order gets messed up in the drive-thru.
Here's what I think. I think now we're talking about patient versus rude. I'm not rude.
Oh, you're not rude.
Generally. I'm not always rude.
Place your order. Okay. It was on the screen. You saw the errors being made. You tried to correct it.
Let me say this.
Now you at the window. The order is wrong.
Is it hospitable to mess up my order? That's the question I want to ask you. Because, yes, I've been in Atlanta for a long time, okay? If I pull up and I make my little order, I get my little 2 or 3 items.
Real talk.
And I'm watching you punch it in.
And those 2 or 3 items matter.
Hey, sir.
They matter.
1, I appreciate you.
Yep.
Because I'm hospitable.
Wow.
I'm glad you're here.
Wow. They're so glad you're in their drive-thru.
But
yeah.
Is there any chance you can actually enter my order the way I said it? Because what I'm looking at now is 3 items I did not order. Yeah. And none of the sauces that I did.
When it lingers on that screen for about 30 seconds and you try your best to be like, I need you to get this right, that I didn't order that quarter pounder. I didn't order the quarter pounder. It's been up there for 30 seconds. Someone in the kitchen right now is throwing it together.
Because it's coming.
I know it.
It's not going to be in your bag and on your bill.
And now I'm paranoid. Now I'm pulling around.
Yeah.
Already like, hold on real fast. Now I'm opening it up. I got 2 quarter pounders in there when I ordered a filet of fish. Yeah.
First of all, why are you ordering a filet fish? But secondly, what is happening? Okay.
No, time out. Hold on. What you ain't gonna do is shame filet of fish shoppers. There's a lot of people out there.
I'm not shaming every filet of fish shopper. I'm questioning you.
Have you?
On what?
When's the last time you were able to indulge and enjoy the filet of fish?
All right, I'll say this.
Yeah.
It was years ago. I'll say this. The last time I had a filet of fish, I did think the cheese on it was really good. Because I got a filet of fish with cheese. I was like, oh, they got this cheese nice and melted this time. I think I'm going to enjoy this filet of fish because this cheese
I've never been more offended by a statement in my life.
That's a lie. You're just jumping right into the hospitable thing. That's a lie.
Listen, shout out to Colorado. Hopefully the people are as sweet as they are here in Atlanta, Georgia. Some of the best people you'll ever meet in your life, especially here on the Beltline. Which leads us to the ultimate question that we've been getting from day one. Yeah. Why did you call it Beltline Blxck?
I actually enjoyed this one. Someone asked me, okay, is it Beltline Blxck or African American?
Oh,
all right. Well,
see, it's 2025. So we gotta slow down everything and explain ourselves.
Maybe they were just looking out for us.
It's great.
It was like, hey, I know you guys are black.
Yep. Oh, but now when you do that.
No, they didn't do that. You know I don't feel good about that. I don't like it when you whisper it. I was thinking to be honest. Why are you whispering?
What if we say, welcome to Beltline?
It's like, no. They didn't say that.
Can I watch Beltline Blxck if I'm not black?
Oh.
I know, black.
If you're not
black. And I said, listen, if you hang out with us anytime on the Beltline, you would see that, yes, we are black.
We are. For sure.
But we're surrounded with friends that are not black, all different cultures. Yes. The Beltline represents a place that is from all people from all different walks of life, socioeconomic levels.
Correct.
Which means you gotta probably have roommates because I ain't gonna front. It is a little bit expensive. Okay, we won't get into the gentrification that happened in order to create. Then one time, but I will.
First episode jumping all the way in, huh? I'm with it.
But I will say this. I will definitely say. All different types of people on this Beltline. Yes. It's an intriguing walk anytime you make it. If you come to Atlanta, you need to come to this place. 100%. But anyways, yes, you absolutely can because we're gonna have a lot of conversations for all people. But it'll be black people asking y'all questions about tell us why y'all do this and tell us why y'all do and say that.
I'll ask you one from blacks.
Okay.
Sorry.
Come on.
No, the last one I got was just a pretty straightforward question. You know, why Beltline Blxck?
Oh,
why are you guys doing this?
What would you tell them?
Has nothing else to do. No, I didn't say that. I said
that's that jacket edge. We ain't getting no younger.
We ain't no younger. Yeah.
That lyric to this day, I still get confused.
Think about that. If you're
let's get married. We ain't getting no younger. Like, we might as well do.
Yeah, I don't know that we ain't getting no younger even bothered me. But I'm like, you're gonna roll up on somebody that you love, you wanna spend the rest of your life with them, like, well, why you want to marry me? I mean, we might as well do it.
Might as well.
That's
crazy. We ain't getting no younger. Might as well.
Talk about being chosen. Anyway, let's that's crazy. Sorry. No hate on them, but I'm like, why did you do that? Anyway, why Beltline Blxck? So for me, I'll say this. There actually is not one black experience. Mm-hmm. You know, we hear that all the time. I think, and not to make this a political podcast, but obviously politicians say it because, you know, we want to galvanize and things like that. I don't think that's bad, but I think as you really live and you engage with people, Americans at all Americans, and then specifically Black Americans, you start to realize what we call the Black experience. Yes, there are things that are shared culturally when you have a similar culture. We get that. But I'm like, there is not just one Black experience.
So good, bro.
And I think it's so important as, you know, people who kind of grew up in that to be able to share that with people and be like, no, you are who you are.
Yep.
And yeah, maybe we share this culture and maybe some lineage in certain ways, but you're going to walk through this world the way you walk through this
Real
world.
Talk.
And we want to hear about your experience and we want to share our experience with you. So for me, that's why I Beltline Blxck.
I think that we need a space where we can ask questions about other people, about scenarios, about how to get a house, how to be able to reach our dreams.
Why y'all love Sweet Caroline so much?
Why y'all love it? It's so much Sweet Caroline at every festival.
Everywhere I go. Oh, brother.
And at this point, I get caught up in it.
You have to.
And I'm like, you know what? Something about this song.
Well, let me fall back. The energy is incredible.
Yep.
So I'm not here to hate.
It's like at white weddings when they put on swag surfing. Okay.
Yes.
Because they get a little
It's an
wild.
invitation.
It's something about that song.
Yes, it's cross-cultural.
I
Like, let's
guess.
experience. Yeah. I would love to see you guys swag surf. Okay, so what about this?
Yeah.
What about the racists?
The racists.
They're out there.
Are we a safe place for racists?
I'll say this. Okay, one, man, I'm sorry for the hate that's in your heart or the pain that you're going through, whatever. You're welcome here. By the way, those actions are not welcome here. Don't come in here. We don't want the hate here.
We don't want the hate.
But we want you to listen. Think about this.
This is beautiful.
What a story. What if somebody was like, I actually can't stand the blacks. But
yeah.
I listened to Beltline. And now, after only 2 episodes,
whoa,
I look forward to being out at the grocery store and running into a black.
I believe that this podcast will end racism.
Okay.
Mark my words. When we get done with a few seasons, there will be no more racism in America.
There are some that will argue there isn't now, but I feel you. Seriously though, look, people have, different upbringings. They disagree on things. We're getting to like reasonable people now. I want this to be a safe space for people to come, ask questions, listen, learn maybe, but also like we can disagree here.
Speaking of listen and learn,
come on,
I got to bring this by you.
All right, run it.
So I don't know if you see the podcast, The Pivot.
Yeah.
Great podcast. Yeah. Good brothers, man. They're making some great conversations. They had Anthony Mackie on, and Anthony Mackie put this clip right here. Okay, I'm going to show you this clip. Let's watch it together.
We tell our kids that and this is fresh on my heart. Like I literally just came to this conclusion last night. We tell our kids if they do right and they make the good grades and they go to the programs and they will become successful. If you work hard enough, your work will be paid off. And that's not true. Success is given.
That's tough. It's big. I'll let him continue.
It's not earned. Because you can be the most brilliant. If one person don't tap you, each one of y'all. There were people who could hit harder, who could catch better, who could run faster. But somebody said, you're the one. And the other 50 behind you fell off. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And because of that, I don't know what that emotion or that feeling is.
I don't know what that emotion or that feeling is. The man said, success
is not earned.
It's not earned, it's given. Someone has to pick you.
You cannot just work your way and excel your way into certain rooms.
Especially a certain level of success.
Yeah, a certain level. There's certain doors that you can't just work your way into. We know that. You can't just be great enough for certain doors in certain rooms and certain levels.
My grandpa used to always say, go where the cake is being cut. And I think the older you get, the more you really realize that, if you don't end up in the room where the cake is cut, you don't end up getting a slice, you get the crumbs.
Come on now, if you're lucky.
51% of people actually are happy with their jobs. Okay. Or we'll say content with their jobs. We won't say happy. They're content with their jobs. So that's a good indicator. However, only 8 to 9% of the population is actually working what they would classify as their dream career. So there's a lot of room for us to have conversations about what it takes to make it to your dream career.
Bridge that gap a little bit.
Okay, so this is what I'd imagine all of us were feeling when we watched that clip. What do I have to do to get in the room where the cake is being cut? What do I have to do to be in the 8-9% of people working their dream careers and not the career where I can just be content? Break the idea that success is earned and embrace this idea that success is given, which means what do you need to do to make sure that you're at the right place at the right time
to receive some success? Come on now.
All right, so let's start with the first key. Okay. If the first key is I want to be in the 8%, I got to prepare myself for that. The reality is this: a lot of people are waiting for someone to do something for them. And I'm not one that's going to start by telling y'all to be the victim, because the reality is if you waiting for somebody to save you, ain't nobody on the way. Okay?
Come on now. Yeah. Understand what you're going after. That could change. Your skill set is going to be your skill set.
Yep.
But your skill set may be applicable to 2 or 3 different lanes.
Yes.
So as we're stepping into this, I need you to know what you bring into any room. These rooms that we've been talking about, these doors that may not be open in the beginning. You have to understand anyone you go to sit down with, I'm bringing something irreplaceable. You saw what's on the page, but let me tell you what's not on the page. Because that's where all the difference makers really separate themselves.
Yeah.
Is they find a way to communicate what isn't on that.
Your dad said something to me, man, when I was in my early 20s.
I remember that. Mm-hmm.
And he said, it's not about who you remember.
Sir.
It's about who remembers you.
Come on now.
You got to get around people who you're like, there's something about that person that's magnetic, and you need to study what it is. And then you need to look at yourself and say, what do I have that overlaps there? Because I need to turn that dial up, just turn the volume of that up just a little bit more to become approachable. And then once you're approachable, you want to make sure you're asking the right questions, saying the right things, as things that you just said, to make sure that you're memorable.
One of our former presidents, Barack Obama, he made a statement that I thought was so well crafted and life changing. He was talking about how so often maybe we haven't gotten to a certain door yet, maybe we were left out, whatever, kind of like Anthony Mackie said. And he said, when you finally get in these doors and you sit at some of these most elegant and eloquent and highly touted tables around this world, you realize they are just people just like you. They may be talented like you. They may be special in some ways just like you, but they're just people. They're people who walked in and sat down in the room.
Sat down.
At the table. You have to decide before you get in the room, before you sit at that table, you have to decide which, if any, of my ideals am I okay with softening up on or sacrificing to get what I want out of that room.
For the people who are watching who are their own worst critic, the people, the 8-9% that are in that room, you are not perfect and they are not perfect.
Come on.
You make mistakes and they make mistakes. You sometimes feel like, do I deserve to be in that room? It's called imposter syndrome. And they quietly struggle with the same things. You sometimes wonder, do I have what it takes? And they sometimes ask themselves the exact same question. The only difference is they actually went in the room. We hope that every single one of us can make it to the 8-9% and it can one day be 50%, 90% of people working in their dream job, but it starts with you saying, I got to do my part. I got to prepare myself. I got to build relationships and network. I have to make sure that my mindset is where it needs to be. And when that opportunity comes through,
I gotta embrace it.
Got to embrace that thing.
Step into it.
Beltline Blxck.